Yes. Look at that view. Hello. I am no O2. And you might be asking yourself, where is he? Where in the world is he? How did I get up here? This is part one of a three-part video series where I spent lots of time running around on the rail system trying to figure out, is there any advantages, any extra sneaky places that we can get to? Is there any real strategic value to running on the rail system? What do we skip by running on it? Things like that. How to get on, how to get off, and etc. And thus, in part one, we have the peak, the mega peak. No O2 peak. Because the answer to that question is yes, we can. We can, in fact, get to very unreachable places that are exclusive to the rail system. You have to use the rail system to jump up here. And I'm going to show you exactly how to do that, as well as a bunch of other ins and outs and nuances of the rail system and how we can take advantage of it. In part one, we're going to be talking about dig site to base camp. 2, we'll talk about swamp to base camp. And then 3, we'll talk about science campus to base camp. Some really significant locations that we can get to, just like this. Now, of course, we can see way down, up and down this lane here. Way down, up and down this lane. Sneaky place to snipe and do stuff from. And I haven't even explored all the way over there. To some extent, though, as you can see, there's very clearly and obviously ways that we can climb over there. We'll check it out just a tiny bit here, just a tiny bit. And then I'll show you exactly how to get up here. Now, I will say, if you're looking for specific locations, I'm going to have this video super duper timestamp. Tons of timestamps. Go check them out to see the exact moment that you're looking for. But as you can see, being on top of this rock, it's all the way back to the dig site, and further, and beyond, and etc. Not only that, the rail system is going to help us bypass some mobs and things like that, and etc. So, let's start from the very beginning. We are in the training simulator, right? So let's just do this real fast. You know, you can die in the training simulator, and then it just brings you back to life. Let's start from the very, very beginning. We are in the dig site. We are in the dig site here. And let's say we don't want to take the main road north, right? We don't want to take the main road north to the what is it, the abandoned mine, right? We take that jungle path over there. It leads to the same place as the abandoned mine. We can climb up through the parking lot. Climb through the parking lot. Maybe you don't like that path. You can take this road right here through the big wheeler gate. There's always mobs there. The guaranteed mobs. The idea was that we were going to... I messed this up. We can actually climb up over there, but... The idea was, is there any value in taking this rail system out? Now, of course, as you can see, the rail system ends very abruptly. One important thing to note on these maps... is that the rail system on the map appears to be completed. It is, in fact, not completed at all. There are multiple gaps throughout these rail lines, and all 3 of them, most significantly on the swamp. Right, so here is the start of the significant rail line. This rail line actually has a lot of value to us. We're leaving the dig site, we're in the jungle, and oh god, there's mobs everywhere. Right, here's the ship. Goodness, right, mobs everywhere. We can just hop onto the rail from this rock. This was sort of the path that we took here, just straight from the dig site, up on top of this rock here, onto the rail. Now, it's important to note, you can mantle onto the rail, but be careful if you're expecting to mantle and you're just holding down the W key, you might just run off the other side, so take some practice, get some used to it. Now, for the most part, right, we're always exploring, is there anything significant that we can reach here? And as far as this rock is concerned, no big deal. We can't get on top of this rock from the rail, but that tree branch that's going over, you can get on top of that rock, running up that tree branch on the other side and doing some mantle spamming and etc. Oh god. Oh no. We gotta do this in one take, you know what I'm saying? Okay, back up to the rock. Alternative path on top of this rock, am I right? This is why we have timestamps as well. So if you guys don't want to see the banter in between, check out the timestamps for sure. That's the tree branch that you climb up to get on top of that rock over there. Usually like to try and angle my jump a little bit, so if I were to W key, if I were to land, my W key will take me into the rail a little bit, or I can sort of aim for the grapple just a tiny bit. Now we're taking the rail. And I actually like this rail running as far as skipping some of these mobs. Those mobs now have a hard time finding us. They're not chasing us anymore. We don't have to worry about them catching up, and etc. Now, of course, we are rather exposed to players and to some Jeff spit and etc. For the most part, we're just running the rail. Oh no, Jeff, come on, bro. Now, here is our first pit stop. This rock you can climb on top of from the ground floor. Climb up. You can get off and on by using this rock. You can see just down there allows you to sort of mantle your way up and eventually get on top of this rock. We just get back on. Here is the juicy part. Right there. We can jump and mantle onto this rock right here. We then mantle on top here. Do some more mantling, and as you can see, I do believe we are in an area that the devs did not intend for us to be. In fact, from up here, we have quite the vantage point. We can see the edge of the jungle for the most part. We can see all the way up to the edge of the jungle. I have explored all up and down these cliffs, and I am confident in saying, though maybe not 100% sure, that jump I just did on the rail is the only way up here. It's the only way up here. See where we are now. The rail. We can have just a little bit of vision into this edge of the jungle here. And this rock will take us all the way back. This rock will take us all the way back to the dig site. As you can see. And if you get over there, you can look down into the dig site and do some sniping. You can see all the way across and etc. And if you jump down, you can get back up by mantling on some rocks over here, I believe. Let me just prove it. Let me prove it. Yeah, you can get back up over here. Just mantling back up. No problem. Not a problem at all. Now, the second area that we get a clear vantage point over is this southern heading main road. That's one of the primary exits out of dig site, and of course it almost seems, I'm gonna say always. It always has a mob in it. It always has a mob hiding in it. A couple of striders, maybe a rattler. Sometimes there's a Jeff outside that gate over there. Thin, narrow passageway. And if you don't know about the tunnel that cuts through this rock, now you do. And I won't tell you, I won't show you where it is, but you can find it on your own. There's a tunnel. There's a secret tunnel that cuts through this rock to the other side. But essentially, right, sort of forced into a narrow passageway. And this rock we have great advantage over it. All the way up to over here, and etc. And we're going to be hopping back onto the rail in a little bit and showing you the rest of it, because there's still more to see on the rail. But that's where I was standing up there at the start of this video. Right up there. This is the bridge, the archway. You jump down. Once we're down, for the most part, we're stuck. I think you can jump onto this and then jump over there and potentially mantle back up, but for the most part now we're committed. We're jumping. You can see. And we're jumping. And now this is the mantle spam. We're just spamming. You have to spam mantle. Or spam jump. We're trying to get onto that rock right there. As you can see, not super consistent. There we go. And And we just keep mantle spamming in these corners here. And climbing and climbing and climbing. And for the most part, I feel that spamming the spacebar as fast as you can does seem to help. And now we're up just a little bit further. Same thing. But not quite as high as we want to go. We continue to do the same thing. Just mantle spamming, grabbing onto invisible ledges that do not exist. The geometry up here is not quite as polished. I actually really love this game. I am enjoying myself greatly playing this game right now. But one of my little complaints is that the geometry in the playable area, I think the geometry could be smoothed out a little bit better. It can be smoothed out just a little bit better here. We can run over to this rock now. And it's not so steep that we can't run up. And now look where we are. We're all the way back up here at our vantage point. King of the world. And etc. Go back down. So that's how you get up here. And be careful, you'll die. Be careful, you can die. Let's get back over to the bridge. I'm going to show you the rest of the rail. I do things live here. Live here. Apologize for the hiccups here, and etc. Oh, that's not a good jump. You can probably make that jump, I think. That would be my guess. That would be my guess. You can probably make that jump. Can't quite make it here. That's no problem. Again, there's multiple ways to get on top of this rail system. That's the juicy bits right there. That's the juicy bits. Super sneaky way to get on top of those big rocks. Now here is another way to get on top of this rail. We're at the gate for the comms base. Gate for the comms base, right? And if we can see, that's the rock that I showed you earlier that you can climb on top of. And just about right there is where you make the jump to get on top of the mega rock. Run all the way over here. Now there's typically mobs here. There's usually a Jeff right here and stuff like that guarding the gate into the comms base. Now there's other ways obviously to get into the comms base, really cool mantle things that we can do. But since we're here on the rails, we can climb on top of this rock and we can run. We can make a hero's jump over here, which then gives us an alternative route into the comms base here. Pretty cool. And that is, for the most part, the end of all the significant value that we can get out of this particular rail. From the center base to here, it is broken up, and oh god. From the base camp, right? From the base camp here to here, there's no real value to be running that rail. It exposes you. There's no significant advantage. You're not really passing over anything. That doesn't really matter at all. And the rail ends here. And we really don't want to run out here. We're very exposed. There's nothing out here to get to. If you want to save some life, for whatever reason you are out here, you can run and jump or run sprint off and land on that fence. Or you can sort of land on this right here. Save a little bit of health, but it'll still heck you up and things like that. So, that is the rail from dig site to comms tower. You can use it to bypass some of the dangers in the jungle. You can use it to get onto incredibly high, not supposed to be reached terrain where you can do cheeky sniping stuff or hide indefinitely for the most part, and etc. As well as use it to get into the comms space or get into the comms tower. So this is part 1 of Riding the Rails series here. Part 2, we're going to be doing Swamp Camp, the base camp. Spoiler, not nearly as significant as this. Part 3, though, we get back into the territory of unreachable terrain. and we'll be looking at some really cool places that you could potentially ditch teammates' loot and things like that in part 3. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you in the future. And if you like the content, like what I'm doing, please. I really don't ever do this. I don't really ever ask and pander. YouTube doesn't like me because I don't do it. But please, if you like the content, like, subscribe, comment, and etc. No gimmicks, right? No emotional testimony here. Just let me know what you guys think. I appreciate it. And I will see you in the future.